I'm Amber Lawson, and I'll be the therapist today. And I'll be going over with my client, Jessica, the outcome rating scale. So that's what this role play will be about. So I know today we went over a lot of information and everything. So I just want us to now look at this scale and just to reflect over everything that's gone on and anything we might have missed so we can talk about it at the next session. And this scale, it looks back over the last weeks of session, including today, and it helps us understand how you've been feeling by rating each section individually on here in the following areas, like individual, interpersonal, socially, and overall.
Okay.
All right, and what you're going to do is just put a little X on the scale. Here is the lowest, and this is the highest levels.
Okay.
And you're just going to do it for each one.
All right.
And then at the end, we'll just go back over it and review it a little bit, and then talk about next week a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So if you have any questions, just ask me.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
All right. Now I'm just going to take a minute and measure it out to see how it rates.
Okay.
Okay with that?
How does your measurement,
Well,
what is it telling you?
It is on a scale of 10 centimeters. And what I'm going to do is I will line the centimeter stick up with it. And for example, individually, you scored about a 2 centimeters on it. And then at the end, I will measure all the levels for each thing. And then I will tally it up to see how close you are to 10 centimeters.
And what does the closeness to 10 centimeters tell you?
Well, the closest you are to 10 centimeters will tell you, it will indicate how well you're doing. And if we need
therapy?
Right, in therapy.
Oh, okay.
And if we need to improve on anything.
Oh, I see.
Okay?
Okay.
So let me just add these up. All right. So overall, you scored about a 3.
Wow, that's not too good.
Yeah.
But that's not your fault.
Like,
I just can't get any sleep. You know, no matter what I do, I take stuff for sleeping, Ambien, and I do my sleepy time, sweet tea, and just nothing seems to work. I just cannot get my thoughts turned off, and I just toss and turn all night long.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely go over that more next session. So right now, let's look at the how you scored on the individual. We'll just break it down just to talk about a little stuff and how we will keep doing it next session.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, again, that individual thing, it all comes down to sleep. I just can't get any.
You can't get any sleep. All right. So that's affecting your personal well-being. Is that affecting your everyday life?
It does, because I just can't concentrate at work, so that makes work suck, and I'm kind of edgy, and so that gets back into the interpersonal with my girlfriend, you know, when you're still dealing with my ex, and she's just won't leave us alone, and just doesn't want to move on, and I just don't know what to do about that either. And so, of course, all of that is affecting work, and so my overall well-being is a little on the low end, but I think I would just, I'd be a lot better if I could just get my ex-girlfriend out of the picture.
Okay. I know we discussed some of that today. So next session, what we'll do is continue to work on what you presented us with today, and we'll probably keep doing these outcome rating scales to continue to monitor our progress, and also just in case something else comes up, I can note it and it'll be able to show me what we need to work on.
Okay.
If there's anything else going on.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Well, have a great day, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Bye.
This is the role play for the sessions rating scale, and I will be the therapist, and Amber is going to be role playing our client, Catherine. So today, Catherine, we had a lot to talk about today, and what I want you to do, if you don't mind, is to fill out this session rating scale. And what this does is helps me to find out how well of a job I'm doing with you and how good you feel about our sessions together.
Okay.
So today, if you would just mark on this from the low end to the high end, just make a little X. I did not feel heard, understood, and respected, up to I felt heard, understood, and respected.
Okay.
You can go ahead and mark that if you'd like. Okay. We did not work on or talk about what I wanted to work on or talk about today, and we worked on and talked about what I wanted to work on and talk about today.
Okay.
So that what this will tell me is if you're on the low end, that I need to address with you what it is that you do want to talk about.
Okay.
The therapist's approach is not a good fit for me, and this is just whether or not you feel comfortable with me, whether we have a good rapport, you're okay with us working together. If you just mark on that too, how you feel about that. Great. I'm glad that you think that we're a good fit together. That's good. Thank you for sharing that. And there was something missing in the session today, or overall today's session was right for me. And I see you've marked in the middle of the scale. Is there something that was missing today or something you wanted to go into more detail about?
Well, we did talk about a lot today, and I thank you for that. I would just like to maybe next session talk a little more about my relationship with my mother and my family a little more.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's a lot that I just need to let out about that.
Okay, well, we'll definitely approach that next week, and I appreciate your honesty in sharing that with me too. And I noticed too here on I did not feel heard, understood, or respected today. You're somewhere on the middle of the scale there too. Is there something you'd like to share with me about that?
Yeah, well, I feel like you did listen very well and everything today. I just feel like some of the things I was talking about, like my relationship with my husband, that we were talking about, maybe you just didn't understand in detail what I was meaning. So I was thinking maybe next session we can go into that a little
more detail?
Yes.
Okay, I'd be more than happy to talk about that with
Okay.
you at length if you need to,
Yes.
and we'll address that next week too.
Okay.
But again, I appreciate your honesty. I thank you for filling this out. This helps me to be an overall better therapist, and especially in working with you. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'm the therapist, and we are doing the session rating scale. Okay, Jessica, so now that we're kind of done with the session, I just wanted to take a couple minutes to go over this session rating scale. It kind of just lets me know how the overall session is going and to make sure that I'm addressing everything that you need. So the first one is I did not feel understood and respected. And it's on the rating of lowest to highest, and highest is I felt heard and understood and respected. I'll just let you go ahead and rate that. Okay, so you felt understood and okay, well that's good. Okay, the second one is we did not work on what you wanted to talk about, or we worked on what you wanted to talk about. Okay, so that one's pretty low. What do you think we could have done a little better?
I think we could have focused more on my stress level and what I can do to relieve that stress. I think we focused more on what I can do to sleep better, but I want to focus more on the stress part.
Okay, well we could definitely work on that for next time. We'll work on more of your stress. Okay, and the next is the therapist's approach did not work good for me, or it did work good for you. Okay, that's good.
Oh, sorry. I think you did pretty well with your approach, and we followed the steps, and we built good rapport and stuff like that. So.
Okay, well that's good. I'll just continue what we're doing, and hopefully we can keep making progress. And the last one is there was something missing in today's session, or overall today's session was right for me. Okay, and so what do you think was missing from the session?
Well, since we didn't focus on how to relieve stress as much, I felt like that was kind of missing. I felt like I didn't step away from this session as accomplished, as if we were to focus on relieving my stress. But I do know now things to do in order to sleep better. So that was good.
Okay, well, at least we did that. And yes, we will work on more of handling your stress during the next session. So I think this was good, and we can, I have things to improve for the next session. So we have our meeting for the next session. I guess I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, I'll be the therapist today, and Nicole will be my client playing Catherine, and I'll be doing the outcome rating scale. All right, Catherine, so we finished today's session, and after each session, I would like you to fill this out, and it's for me to get a feeling of how you're feeling so that I can work on things in this session so that you can get things out of it really well. Okay, so the first one, you can rate how you're doing individually, your overall well-being.
Okay.
Okay, so I see that you marked in the middle of the line. So would you like to tell me how you're feeling individually right now?
I mean, things aren't too great. They're not too great, but not too bad. Things are just kind of, just kind of how it is. So,
Okay.
I'm just okay.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing. And, in our next sessions, we can dig into that. Okay. And then interpersonally, how do you feel like with your close, intimate relationships with like your family or your husband? You can mark how you're feeling in that area.
Okay. Well, I kind of marked the middle. I just went through a divorce. I miss my family, and I miss seeing my kids a lot, and I just miss that, family unit. But I do have some close relationships and close friends that I keep in touch with, so
Okay.
at least that's good.
Yeah, that is good. And, you're going to miss your husband and your kids. So we'll also focus on those feelings in our next session. Okay, and thanks for sharing that. All right. And the next one focuses on how you're doing socially at work or school or friendships. All right, so I see that it's kind of higher than before. Do you want to explain why that's a little higher?
Well, I work a lot, so I really don't get to see many people, but I have some close friends at work too.
Okay.
But other than that, still not too high.
Okay, all right. And now, overall, how do you think you're doing? You can mark that.
Okay.
Okay, so you're doing kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
You're feeling in the middle.
Hopefully I'll feel soon, better soon, but I'm just, things are just how it is, so.
Okay. And, this helps me find out how you're feeling so that in our next sessions we can dig into those feelings and, improve some and to go in a better direction. Okay. So thank you for sharing everything.
All right.
And our next session, do you want it at the same time next week?
Yep, that'd be good.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good, and I'll see you next time.
All right, see you next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is rating yourself individually, how you feel as a person and your well-being.
I'm sorry, I'll have to do that over.
Karen was walking through.
Did you? Oh,
I don't know, I was
man.
like, oh no, and I stepped back.
Oh.
That's why I need a script.
Are you filming all this right now?
Yeah, it's filming right now.
How did the woman start this off in the
She
video you watched?
it was the end of the session.
Okay. Do we really want to do this? Mark it?
Yeah, just
We didn't talk about that, did we? So you can edit that
Yeah,
out.
you can edit that out.
So I'm going to actually.
Yeah, just because I have to measure it.
Oh, okay.